What's going to happen to the price of silver when Elon Musk buys a silver mine? It could be explosive. Now, what I might recommend to Elon, he's had some bad luck lately. He could buy this here silver cat. I'd let her go for under $1 billion. That would turn his fortunes around. But on a serious note, there is much talk right now and a little bit of proof, a little bit of indication that Elon Musk may be seriously considering buying a silver mine. It would be super exciting for us silver investors. Let's dig into it. Me, you, and Pippi right now. We silver investors want to hear the news that Elon Musk has bought a silver mine. But is it a pipe dream? Are we just dreaming, or could it really happen? Well, consider this. Elon has already invested in lithium and nickel mines, and that was a catalyst for huge moves in those metals markets. So it's not out of the question. He needs a lot of silver. His company, Tesla, they build all these electric cars, which themselves demand a lot of silver, right? Because silver is the most conductive metal of electricity. And they build a ton of batteries for those cars, which also demand a ton of silver. Oh, and by the way, there's a solar company that he owns, and we know that solar panels also demand a ton of silver for their manufacture. And try to envision this. If the news comes out that Elon and Tesla have purchased a silver mine or made a major investment into a silver mining company, what do you think the other major companies of the world are going to do? What are the Sonys going to do? What are the other major electronics manufacturers, electric car manufacturers? They're going to start to panic and try to gobble up all the silver they can as well. And what are general investors going to do? If the news comes out that Elon Musk, he's probably the biggest top-line newsmaker executive in the world right now, if that news comes out that he's bought a silver mine, it could generate a major rush of investors into the silver market. It could literally be explosive. And don't you worry, we're going to talk about some proof that he may be considering it later in the video. But first, I wanted to tell you, thank you right now, you, yes, you, the one and only you, for joining me right now in the basement. From wherever in the world you are, I'm glad you're here. You probably love silver like I do. I also love gold and the other precious metals, but we love our silver and love to talk about it. We are just a sliver of the entire world population. So you join me from all over the world. I appreciate you being here. If you get some fun, some value, please subscribe, give the video a thumbs up. Now let's get back to this discussion about Elon and silver. What do you say we have some fun, some warm and fuzzies? Consider the fact that the silver market is so tiny. On an annual basis, there's only about 1 billion ounces of silver produced. That's like $24 billion worth of silver. That's a lot of money to me and you, right? But to a big company relative to the size of Tesla, relative to the size of other markets, that is absolutely tiny. News of Elon getting into the silver market could create an earthquake, much like you're probably hearing because I've got 4 10-year-old girls right above me playing soccer in my family room. But nonetheless, the other thing we need to consider, yes, it's a tiny market, but it's also already in a state of deficit. Yes, in 2022, the Silver Institute, they informed us that the demand for silver outweighed the supply by almost 200 million ounces. Yes, that 1 billion ounces that were produced in 2022 didn't satisfy the demand coming from all the different sources of 1.2 billion ounces. And on top of that, one last thing to feel warm and fuzzy about when we think about silver is the fact that the physical inventories at the big derivative unicorn fart dust exchanges, the COMEX here in the United States of America and the LBMA in London, England, the physical inventories they have, and those guys have traditionally had a stranglehold on the price of silver. their inventories are going down. And by the way, their stranglehold on the price of silver, it's kind of going away because the Eastern countries, China, Russia, Brazil, the BRICS countries, Saudi Arabia, they're starting their own market for precious metals. They're tired of the manipulation by the Western exchanges. Things look very bright for silver, and Elon could be the catalyst to send the price to the moon, or Mars for that matter. So we know Elon already has invested into lithium and nickel, but why silver? What hints are we getting? Well, what about his good buddy Robert Kiyosaki? We know him. He wrote the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He's always talking about gold and silver. Robert Kiyosaki himself has stated that Elon is going to need to secure himself a reliable source of silver going forward because his companies eat through silver, consume it on a daily and hourly basis. And remember, we're in a deficit already. You think he's not realizing that, there could be a time in the future where he's going to run out of silver and not be able to make batteries, not be able to make solar panels, not be able to make electric cars? You can bet that Elon is keeping a close eye on the silver market. And why would we think that? What's the other clue that we have? Well, just recently, Elon Musk on Twitter started to follow Wall Street Silver. Yes, that community of over 125,000 people who are passionate about studying, stacking, loving the silver market. Elon followed them on Twitter. Why would he have done that? Why would he have followed Wall Street Silver? I don't know. That's very interesting now, isn't it? Hey, it's going to be really cool to see how this silver market plays out going into the future. We know the thesis. We know the huge demand from all areas attacking the silver market, attacking that tiny bit of physical silver that the big derivative unicorn fart dust exchanges have in their vaults. Elon could very well make a big investment into the silver market, which is going to prompt other big companies and draw attention to silver from the herd, right? We've talked about that so many times. We are a sliver of a sliver. We're like 1 in 500 people that follow the silver market, that know the fundamental reasons why silver is a great place to put our money. If just a few more out of that 500 join us, it would be multiples more money coming into the sector. It could create an avalanche of growth in the silver price. We'll see how it plays out. Now, I don't have a crystal ball. I get real excited and real passionate about this stuff, but I don't know what's going to happen in the future. Heck, you know as well as I do that the price of silver could go down. But when I look at the big picture, I feel differently. I also know one thing for sure. I always appreciate when you decide to spend your precious time with me here in Ron's Basement. Thanks for being here. I will look forward to seeing you, yes, you, next time.